playing from behind. They are going to throw the ball more than other teams. A year where we've also seen some quarterbacks injured, which impacts the stats. But he's a guy who has shown that he can produce. Big thing is showing that he can win on a consistent basis.
Bethel Thompson stands in and throws, and the pass is caught by S.J. Green up to the 40-yard line, a gain of 15, and a first down for the Argonauts.
15 yards will put S.J. Green within 5 of another 1,000-yard season. As we mentioned, there is Chandler Worthy, man of the moment. He's in for Darrell Walker, the Argos' lone 1,000-yard receiver to date. Tyler Holmes, the Ottawa guy, facing his hometown team, starts as usual at left guard.
And now the first down carry goes to A.J. Ouellette, and Ouellette's got another first down, a gain of 12, and 2 plays, 2 first downs for Toronto.
And neither James Wilder nor Chris Rainey in the lineup, so you'll see a lot of Ouellette today. Taking a look at that Ottawa defense, Ettore Latanzio gets the start at defensive tackle. That linebacking core, keep an eye on Anthony Chaffee, steady performer at that nickel linebacker spot. The versatile Sherrod Baltimore plays at the field corner this week.
From the 51-yard line, Bethel Thompson looks over the top, and the pass is incomplete. S.J. Green was double covered of the play. Running step for step with him was Kevin Francis and Corey Tyndall.
Well, for S.J. Green, you know, another guy where it's been a year certainly of mixed emotions as the team has struggled. He's a guy who has reached some milestones, over 10,000 yards for his career recently. A chance, as mentioned today, to post his 3rd consecutive 1,000-yard season since joining the Toronto Argonauts.
Second and long for the Argos. Bethel Thompson has time and looks again, and the pass incomplete for Monty Edwards. That'll bring up 3rd down for Toronto. And that'll bring on the punting unit for the Argos. And Ronnie Pepper comes on for Toronto.
Well, Edwards going right down the hash mark, sees a chance to take the middle as he gets in behind the free safety, Randall Evans. He and Bethel Thompson unable to connect.
So Ronnie Pepper will punt. Stuff Logan back to receive just outside his 10-yard line. And Pepper off the side of his foot, that'll go out of bounds at the 25-yard line. A 33-yard punt. Will Arndt get his first chance behind the Ottawa offense when we come back. Western Connecticut.
Yeah, and Arndt has seen some ups and downs through his first couple games. Second start, by the way, against the Toronto Argonauts in 3 weeks. Intercepted 3 times, but threw 2 touchdown passes in that, his CFL starting debut.
And the first down carry Goes to Brendan Galanders for a gain of 3.
And taking a look at that starting offense, Galanders, the former Toronto Argonaut, Canadian running back out of University of Ottawa. This is a guy who has, throughout his career, overcome the odds of getting an opportunity to tote the rock a little bit now. Mark Cordy, guy who has held down that left tackle position, University of Alberta product, second-year man, former first-round pick.
On 2nd and long, Arn throws, it's tipped at the line, and that'll be a 2-and-out for Ottawa, the 108th this year, by far the most of any team in the Canadian Football League.
Well, then just yet another stat speaking to the offensive struggles of the Ottawa Redblacks this season. They knew they were going to be less experienced at quarterback. Obviously in a tough situation, his offensive coordinator, Jamie Elizondo, departed the staff not long before the season.
Richie Leone's been a busy man for Ottawa, and having another strong year as the punter for this team. One of the best in Canadian Football League history. He pounds this one into the wind. Taken by Gittins at the 36-yard line. And he gets maybe 3 on the return. A 48-yard punt. McLeod, Bethel Thompson, and the Argos get their second possession when we come back.
It's the Clear Out sales event.
Dennis Sweet Potato Baluya
Yeah, nice.
makes his directorial debut.
So far, so good.
Yeah. Don't screw it up, rookie.
You see, we shaved his head. It's the rookie tradition. Yours too. First down, Argos from their 38-yard line. Bethel Thompson looks for Edwards, and the pass is almost intercepted. Great defensive play there by Ottawa's Randall Evans to break it up.
This is a terrific effort by Randall Evans. Gets the start at free safety today. There on the inside, number 3 receiver on the hash mark is Armandi Edwards. Evans, a versatile guy. As I said, he's starting at free safety, but this is a guy who over the course of his couple of years in the league in Ottawa and started his career in Hamilton has played a little bit at corner, has played a little bit at the nickel linebacker spot, and is a great fit, obviously, philosophically, with the way so many defenses play today, where you need guys who can play multiple positions.
Now Bethel Thompson fires. Jimmy Ralph makes the catch out to the 45-yard line. He'll be 4 yards short of a Toronto first down. The Argos will be forced to punt. Argos began the year 0-6. 3 wins on the year, 2 against Ottawa. But it has been a struggle for them, primarily defensively.
Yeah, I mean, they've put up some numbers, as we talked about, with McLeod, Bethel Thompson at times offensively, but you know, a number of factors, whether it's been on offense, defense, or special teams, mistakes occurring at key times that have proved costly for this team.
That ball skipped by Logan, stays in bounds, and goes all the way down to the 4-yard line. A flag comes down for no yards, but it's a 61-yard punt for Ronnie Pepper.
Rear Intelligent Emergency Braking. Innovative technology designed to help keep your family safe. Available in the Nissan Rogue.
Well, the natural grass here comes in handy. Gets a bit of a Argo bounce, if you want to call it that. The ball stays in bounds twice and pins Ottawa back at its own 11-yard line. By the way, the place kicker today for the Argos will be Zach Medeiros. Tyler Carpina was hurt in the warm-up for Toronto. So Medeiros, who's on the practice roster, has been activated on an emergency basis and will play this afternoon.
Yeah, you know you're having a tough year wet.
Yes.
Your
In the
place
warm-up.
kicker gets hurt in warm-up.
First down Ottawa from the 11. Galanders with the carry. And he's stacked up right away by Nelkas Cuemo. A game 3.
Taking a look at that Toronto Argonaut defense. Cleon Lang, as always, leads that defensive line, having a strong season from his tackle position. In the linebacking core, Toby Antigua, the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, picked off Will Arndt a couple of times in the last meeting between these two teams. And on the back end, Rob Woodson will start at the field halfback spot, a guy who, another one who I think has had a bright season.
Here comes the rush, and Arndt is down. So Ottawa once again will be forced to punt. Ottawa has 51 fewer first downs than any other Canadian Football League team this year.
Keenan Gilchrist coming off that left end, working the twist. Justin Thomas does a nice job and occupying two defenders or two blockers to free up his end for the sack.
So Leone will punt from his end zone into a slight breeze. There's rain in the forecast for later on this afternoon. And Toronto should get good field position out of this. Big kick by Leone. Chases Worthy back to midfield. He gets down to the 45-yard line, a 48-yard punt, and the return of 15. Argo defense stands tall early, and Toronto has good field position for its third possession.
Where's Danny? Where'd he go?
Bethel Thompson's numbers against the Ottawa Redblacks this season. Undefeated.
Well, think about it for a second, Dwayne. If Ottawa wins those 2 games against Toronto, they got 5 wins on the year, and this game would keep them in the chase for a playoff spot.
Yeah. Yeah, remarkable. I mean, the first game these two teams played in Ottawa was an Argo blowout. Maybe could be considered the low point of the Redblacks season.
Throw to the wide side. The pass caught there by Rod Smith, but he was dropped right away. And now some pushing and shoving breaks out as DeAndre Ferris made the tackle there and taunted him afterwards. It's a gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down for Toronto. And a flag comes down late. So we'll see who's getting the flag here. Referee today is Ben Major. And I think this is going against Ottawa.
After the play, objectionable conduct. Ottawa, number 37. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to make it a 1st down for Toronto.
It'll be a 1st down for the Argos after Ferris is called for taunting.
Yeah. Turning what was a positive play, very strong play defensively, into an Argo 1st down.
And the amazing thing for Ottawa, Dwayne, when you think about it, a 9-game losing streak, and along the way, all the little things that have gone wrong, a review that didn't go their way last week in the 3rd quarter, all the little things that just start the thing going downhill. It goes to A.J. Ouellette, and Ouellette gets inside the 50, down to the 47-yard line for a gain of 7.
Tough year for Rick Campbell. I know among those things that have gone wrong, you know, as a coach, you take calculated gambles sometimes. Think about the Calgary game in Ottawa.
Second and short. Bethel Thompson has time, throws, and the pass is complete. S.J. Green's got a 1st down to the 33-yard line. That'll be over 1,000 yards for S.J. Green for the 3rd consecutive time and the 7th time in his CFL career.
Yeah, he sends that souvenir over to the sidelines. The keeper, he and McLeod Bethel Thompson have developed pretty good chemistry over the course of this season.
He's been pretty much a go-to guy for every quarterback he's played with.
Yeah.
1st down, Bethel Thompson throws wide open, touchdown. Armani Edwards, and the Argos are on the board first. A 33-yard touchdown. Carl Bethel Thompson to Armani Edwards.
And touchdown pass number 25 on the season for McLeod Bethel Thompson. Just finds Armani Edwards working across the field, gets a step in behind Chaffee. Good read, good anticipation from Bethel Thompson to recognize that his receiver is just about to come open. Has the ball there immediately.
Edwards now with 4 touchdown catches in his last 4 games. And now Medeiros comes on. And makes it a 7-point lead. McLeod Bethel Thompson to Armani Edwards. And the Toronto Argonauts have a 7-0 lead on Ottawa on the CFL on TSN in Toronto.
Angle in, working from one side of the field to the other. You're going to see zone coverage. Deep defender on the left side of the field. He works to the right. Nobody's deep on that side. Once he's in behind Chaffee, he is off to the races.
I mentioned Edmonds was a quarterback at Appalachian State. He guided them to one of the biggest upsets in college football history. They beat Michigan in the Big House.
Yes, sir. Spent time in the National Football League as a receiver with the Chicago Bears before making his way north. Originally with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Argos acquired him in a trade in exchange for Canada's smartest man, Peter Diakowski.
So Medeiros on to kick off. And that goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It'll be an illegal kickoff against the Argos. Well,
legal kick out of bounds.
Thoughts about a great Ottawa receiver, Tony Gabriel, part of their 1976 Grey Cup championship team. And the terrific Ottawa Rough Rider, 444 catches, but Brad Sinopoli is bearing in on him. Here's Matthew Chinetti.
Absolutely, Gord. Well, add that to the Hank Crichton Award winner and the 1,000-yard seasons and the Grey Cup championship. And when you talk to Brad Sinopoli about Tony Gabriel, he says he's never spoken to Tony Gabriel, but to know that he's going to have that honor means so much to him, especially because he will have done it in Ottawa, the former Ottawa quarterback, right, and obviously a member as well of the Redblack team. But Gord, he did want me to remind everybody, as much as Ottawa means to him, he is a Peterborough boy, and that's why it's special, guys.
There you go. So we talked about Armani Edwards, a quarterback turned receiver. Sinopoli, the same thing. Brad Sinopoli, of course, a terrific collegiate quarterback. And later on today for the Argos, we'll see Michael O'Connor get some time at quarterback for the Argos. Third-round pick in this year's draft, who won a Vanier Cup at UBC.
Yeah,
an Ottawa native as well.
Yeah, anticipate seeing him in the fourth quarter. Much anticipated arrival, we'll call it, of Michael O'Connor.
First down, Arndt throws, and the pass is caught. And the gain for Caleb Hawley is right at the first down mark. He'll have it for a gain of 7.
Well, we go back to June 25th, 2015. Brad Sinopoli's first catch as an Ottawa Redblack, courtesy of Henry Burris.
Yes. Ottawa has its first down of the football game. Ottawa is last in points, last in first downs, last in time of possession. It has been a struggle with the football.
Well, it certainly has.
Here's Galanders on the first down carry, gets a gain of maybe 3. Is it too simplistic, Dwayne, to say that they did not make up for the loss of Trevor Harris to free agency?
Yeah, there's more to it. There's more to it than that. I think that this is a team that, you know, if you want to talk about winners and losers in free agency as a whole, this was a team that lost in free agency. They, not just Trevor Harris, but at other positions as well. You look at significant guys. Greg Ellingson among those. You know, a guy who obviously would create a little bit of space.
Now Arndt looks over the top, and the pass is incomplete, trying to find Dominique Grimes.
You know, Deontay Spencer leaving via free agency for the National Football League completely changes your receiving core. And, you know, I mean, the other thing that goes along with it, being less experienced at quarterback, is the change at the offensive coordinator position, which changes your level of continuity.
Right.
You know, at least you could be running the same scheme and so on, but you're changing up the scheme a little bit, and, you know, everybody's trying to adjust, different coaching staff, different group of receivers, and so on, and they have certainly had their growing pains.
Leone, low line drive kick, taken by Worthy at the 13-yard line, and he does not get much as he's wrapped up with a special teams tackle by J.P. Bolduc. We mentioned this is the second of our triple header. The finale comes tonight. Saskatchewan and Edmonton at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. There is Greg Ellingson. Trevor Harris expected to play tonight for the Eskimos.
Yeah, coming off the 6-game injured list.
So Saskatchewan, with Calgary losing last night, can take over sole possession of first place in the West Division with a win tonight.
Yeah, trying to secure that home date for the West Final. Certainly when you look at the home records of those top teams in the West, there's little question why they want that first round bye and why they want home playoff games.
First down Argos now from their 10-yard line. Inside 3 to go here in the third quarter, or first quarter rather. And the give goes to the starting tailback. AJ will let his first start in Canadian football league. And he pulls his way out across the 20, which should be a first down. That's the fullback, Declan Cross with the carry.
You're trying to take carries away from my fullback.
I did not mean to do that. When a fullback
You know
gets
how
the football,
I feel about this score.
I know, when a fullback gets the football, we have to fully acknowledge it. It's a first down for the Argos. At the 20-yard line. Empty backfield, Bethel Thompson throws, and the pass is caught. And Levi Noel gets maybe 5, gets thrown down hard there at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I will, going back to the previous plays, Declan Cross has, you know, he's carved out a pretty good reputation for himself in this league as both a blocker and a receiver. That is just his second carry of the season. I'm up here fighting for you, buddy.
It's a lost art. Mark has a gain of 6. Brings up second and 3.5. Bethel Thompson over the middle, and the pass is juggled at the 30-yard line. I'm going to give this to S.J. Green, and it will be an Argo first down.
Yeah, caught it right at that marker. His forward progress was enough to move the sticks.
This drive began at the Toronto 10-yard line. Green will be honored here in a few moments. His family's up from Florida. Now here's Ouellette on the carry, and gets across the 35-yard line for a gain of 5. So S.J. Green, as we mentioned, 7th time over 1,000 yards in his career, 3rd consecutive year. Well, he and Jamel Richardson, remember they were the 1-2 punch in Montreal.
Killers, big, strong, athletic, talented. Another dynamic duo. You know, but you think about S.J. Green at the start of his career, it took him a while to get on the field.
Right.
In Montreal, just because of the depth that they had in that receiving core. You had Richardson along with Ben Cahoon at those slot positions.
Bethel Thompson throws. Edwards can't make the catch. He got belted there by Brandon Dandridge. That'll bring up 3rd down for Toronto.
Nice play there from the newcomer. Dandridge on that, the corner, separating Edwards from the ball. Well timed, but you see him get the arm in there to disrupt the arms and hands of the Argonaut receiver.
Peffer once again to punt. As time winds down here in the opening quarter. Low driving kick. Logan takes out at the 35-yard line. A 38-yard punt, and Logan gets out to the 43-yard line for a return of 3. And the opening quarter has come to an end. The Argos have a 7-0 lead on Ottawa on the CFL on TSN from Toronto. Ottawa, or against Ottawa runner here in Toronto. He had over 700 yards receiving, over 10,000 yards in receiving yards. One of the CFL's all-time leaders being honored here on the field today. His wife, Danielle, his daughter, Kayla, his son, SJ Jr. here. This is a surprise to SJ. Didn't know they were coming from Tampa.
Yeah, pretty cool moment.
They pulled it off.
SJ is a guy who's been known through his career for not showing a lot of emotion, but they definitely got him with this one.
Bill Manning, the Argos looking on. That catch in the end zone in Regina, still one of the best we'll ever see.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one-handed, right at the end of the end zone.
Yeah, SJ has put together a pretty good highlight reel over the course of his career. Well deserved.
Ottawa the football here to start the second quarter from its own 44-yard line. One first down so far for Ottawa. Arndt throws, and the pass is caught by R.J. Harris, and a flag comes down as Harris gets up to the 50-yard line. Gain is 5 on the play. Newly acquired Freddie Bishop with the tackle.
Now watch the pursuit here from Bishop from his defensive end spot, tracking down the receiver on that hitch.
Ottawa, number 15. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll repeat first down.
So Dominic Rhymes called for the illegal block, and that'll take the football back to the 34-yard line. First and 20 for Ottawa.
We'll see how Ottawa lines up here as they take out a receiver, get the fullback in the game. Maybe a max protection look. Try and push that ball a little bit.
This is Ottawa's 17th game of the season, Dwayne. It has thrown just 10 touchdown passes all year. Arndt throws, and the pass is caught by Sinopoli. And there is the one to tie Gabriel. So he's tied Tony Gabriel in Ottawa football history. They got to include the Rough Riders in that as well.
And the Renegades.
Of course, yes. So that ties Gabriel.
Not bad for a guy drafted as a quarterback back in 2011 by the Calgary Stampeders.
Second and 11 now. Arndt throws, and the pass caught underneath as Caleb Hawley got flushed out of bounds, well short of the first down at the 48-yard line, and Ottawa will once again be forced to punt.
Well, nice job in coverage there by the Queens product, Nelkas Quimo. Tracking down the receiver, maintaining leverage to make a play.
Richie Leone might be Ottawa's MVP this year.
That's saying something.
He's been busy. Taken by Worthy at the 20-yard line, a 42-yard punt, and Worthy gets a return up to the 32. So Ratsinopoli has tied Tony Gabriel for the most catches ever playing football for Ottawa on a day when S.J. Green once again went over 1,000.
Absolutely, Gord. This was always part of the plan. You are going to see Dakota Prukop sometime in the third quarter, or possibly to start the third quarter, and then the long-awaited debut of Michael O'Connor should come towards the end of the third quarter or at the start of the fourth. This is always part of the plan. All three quarterbacks have been getting reps in practice. Gord.
Argos start here at their 33-yard line. Bethel Thompson under pressure throws, and the pass is caught by A.J. Willett. And Willett gets out to the 38-yard line for a gain of 5. So Matthew O'Connor is an interesting story from Ottawa, where Michael O'Connor went to high school, partly in Ottawa, then down to the U.S., went to Penn State for a year, transferred to UBC, won a Vanier Cup there, a third-round pick in this year's CFL draft.
Yeah, first pick in the third round, number 20 overall. O'Connor is an interesting case because where the argument against Canadian quarterbacks from many in comparison to Americans.
Thompson throws, and that pass is caught. Monty Edwards up to the 53-yard line, has a first down and a gain of 15.
That argument has so often been around things like number of repetitions they have by the time they're getting to this level, the coaching that they've received, the level of competition against which they have played.
At the end of the play, major foul, face mask, Ottawa number 38. We'll go up 15 yards from the end of the play. First down.
Brandon Dandridge to a 15-yard penalty on the end of that play will send the Argos down to the Ottawa 42.
We'll take a look as Dandridge comes in from behind with the tackle. Left hand wraps around the side of that face mask. But in a nutshell, Gord, Michael O'Connor is a guy who has done all the things to get that experience and close the gap in terms of coaching and repetitions and so on. I would contend that he is the most prepared Canadian rookie quarterback ever to enter the CFL.
Wow. Chandler Worthy takes the flip there, and O'Connor's going to come on, I think, with a short yardage team. Here he is on 2nd and a yard.
And one of the things they talk about within the Argos organization about this young man is his level of professionalism, the way he approaches the game. You know, this is a guy who has had an eye towards a career in professional football for a long time and has done all the right things to get here.
Big kid too, 6'4", 230 pounds. And a flag comes down as he dives ahead for the first down. Matt Dunnigan has long talked about, you know, developing Canadian quarterbacks.
Ottawa number 28. 5-yard penalty makes it a first down.
And how to get them more reps, and perhaps even a roster adjustment where a Canadian quarterback would not count on the roster or would count differently.
Yeah, well, and it's an interesting thing to me in the Canadian Football League, and this one has had me scratching my head for a while, where this year they finally made the move to say that if a Canadian quarterback is on the field, if he's playing in the game, that Canadian quarterback would count as one of your 7 Canadian starters or 7 Canadians playing.
After the end zone is picked off. An easy pick there for Ottawa's Sherrod Baltimore. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, that flag was thrown late.
And it's against Ottawa, it would appear.
Ottawa had 13 men on the field. That's a 10-yard penalty, makes it a first down.
They did too.
They really did. This is the not so traditional 5-3-5 formation.
Which, by the way, is very hard to beat.
Yes, it is. It is. We're playing cover 8 zone.
So McLeod Bethel Thompson would look in the end zone and say, wait a minute, that's one too many.
The 13th man.
Yes. First down Argos now from the Ottawa 18-yard line. And the carry goes to Ouellette. He's cut down on a good defensive play by Kevin Brown. A loss of 2 on the play for the Argos. There's Noel Thorpe, the Ottawa defensive coordinator.
Kevin Brown does a nice job getting up the field. Exploding into that tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 12 now for the Argos. Noel Thorpe, a long-time defensive coordinator in Montreal.
Yeah, spent some time at the University of Montreal as well with Danny Machocha.
On second down, Bethel Thompson throws underneath for Ouellette. Got a ways to go for a first down, and he won't get there as he's wrapped up by Kevin Brown. A gain of 9 on the play will leave him a couple yards short of an Argo first down. And so on comes Zach Medeiros to try the field goal. If you weren't with us earlier, Medeiros, a late addition to the Argo roster when Tyler Carpini got hurt in the warm-up. So suddenly Medeiros found himself suited up, warming up late in the warm-up.
Yeah, I was going to say, where usually your specialists are the first guys out for warm-up, Medeiros getting the call late, so after everybody else had gone in, he was out there getting some kicks in, getting ready to roll.
It's a chip shot from 18 yards out. Junior Ralph is the holder. Medeiros puts that through. Did he? He did. He missed it. Oh. Pounded it, but missed it. And the Argos still lead by 8. That's all ahead. Wild game last night between Winnipeg and Calgary.
That little
Zach Caleros leading the Bombers to a comeback victory.
Well, I've got to say, just as a fan of football, a fan of Canadian football, great to see Zach Caleros back doing his thing last night.
Will Arndt throws. That's batted down at the line, and the pass falls incomplete. Ottawa has 1 first down of the game and 3 2-and-outs.
Not necessarily the forward steps you want to see.
But in this case, this is an important game for Will Arndt. And you heard the guys talk about it. You know, every game shows up on video, and they're going to watch this and decide going forward what their quarterbacking picture is going to look like.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, we talk about quarterbacks winning and losing, as we discussed with McLeod Bethel Thompson earlier, sort of finding ways to win. I mean, there's obviously a whole lot more to winning and losing than just what the quarterback is doing in the game of football. But as the guy who has the ball in his hands on every offensive play,
I hope we get to a point, Dwayne, when one-loss records won't matter for quarterbacks, starting pitchers, and goaltenders.
Is this your mission?
It is my mission. It's a team stat.
Yes.
Winning, losing is a team stat. There's lots of ways to measure a quarterback, and wins and losses are not an accurate way to do it. That's a great kick by Leone. 50-yard punt. And it'll turn out to the 40-yard line for Curly Gittins. That's where Ottawa will start in a moment.
The winner of this year's Kraft Heinz Project Play Grand Prize is Saugeen Shores, Ontario, and the Lamont Sports Park. Luke, what does this mean to you and to Saugeen Shores?
Our community got behind this thing 100%, 1,000%, and we're just so excited to have won this $250,000.
Congratulations to all the communities across Canada who participated in this year's Kraft Heinz Project Play program.
Lose track of time?
Playoffs continues next week as they take on Atlanta after upsetting New York FC for a spot in the MLS Cup. All comes your way Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on TSN. Back here in Toronto on a chilly day, but keep your beer nice and cold too. First down, Argos from their 40-yard line. Flag comes down. Bethel Thompson wants to go deep, fires. Edwards makes the catch in Ottawa territory at the 50-yard line. There's a flag on the play, a gain of 21 yards.
Couple of flags back at the line of scrimmage.
Offside, Toronto, number 81. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Rod Smith, not our Rod Smith, would never go offside.
He is never offside.
Well, he was the center. He can't. It's almost impossible for the center to go offside.
This is true.
So that wipes out the gain and sends Toronto back to its 35-yard line. An 8-0 lead for the Argos. Here's Willette. Not much doing there as he gets wrapped up and thrown down by Jenkins, a loss of 2 on the play.
Chanel Jenkins also in the lineup today. Both George Uko and Michael Wakefield, the regular starting defensive tackles, out of the lineup. Michael Clausen, who's seen a lot of time in there as well early in the season, injured out for the rest of the year. So it's Lattanzio, the regular rotation guy, and Jenkins, who's been on the PR much of the year.
Bethel Thompson got whacked as he threw that and falls incomplete.
That was Jenkins again.
Yeah, he had a face full of Jenkins, and wasn't much you could do there.
Sounds like a movie title. Face full of Jenkins. Coming from that D tackle spot. But quick move to split that. Started off looking like a double team.
So Peffer on to punt. Good kick, chases Logan inside his 30-yard line. 49-yard punt, a flag comes down, and Logan gets out to the 38. I want to take a moment to think about an Ottawa football legend who passed away this week, the great George Brancato, who came to Canada as a player, stayed as a coach, guided Ottawa to the Grey Cup in 1976, and became a fixture in the nation's capital, not just as a football coach, but as a member of the community. And a beloved family man. He passed away this week at the age of 88. And all those of us who were lucky enough to meet him send our condolences to his family and many, many friends, not just in Ottawa, but across the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, I think for guys of our age range,
yeah,
you know, that is one of the memorable names in the Canadian Football League, George Brancato.
And Rick Campbell knew him as George Brancato coached against his dad in the '81 Grey Cup, when Ottawa nearly pulled off the miraculous upset in that game. Galanders on the first down carry. And he's wrapped up for a loss of a yard in the play. It has been a struggle for Ottawa offensively this year, and it's been a struggle offensively in this game. And the Redblacks have just had not much to show for it. 4 2-and-outs, 1 first down, 5 punts on 5 possessions. Arndt throws, has a man wide open, and the pass is caught by Caleb Hawley, and Hawley has a first down out to the 47-yard line, a gain of 26. Ottawa's biggest offensive play of the first half.
You see Hawley out of wide side of the field, trips to the field, plenty of room to work and get open on that wide side.
On first down, that pass way off target. Looking for Nate, or rather for Dominique Rhymes. That falls incomplete.
Yeah, Dominique Rhymes, Ottawa's leading receiver this season for the first time all year, held without a catch last week against Hamilton.
5 minutes to go here in the first half. Arndt looking deep for Rhymes. That pass well out of his reach. He was covered there by Shaq Richardson. And that will once again bring on the punting unit. 6 straight punts for Ottawa on 6 possessions.
And, you know, at certain times during the season, you might wonder, well, will there be a quarterback change as they try to get something going? They've had all season, I would say, where they have been evaluating Jonathan Jennings, Dominique Davis. They want to give Will Arndt a good long look and sometimes let him work through some struggles as well.
Good kick by Leone. 52-yard punt, worthy. It's dragged down at the 20-yard line. Good special teams tackle by Ottawa's Kevin Francis. It is simplistic to say it, Dwayne, and yet in the Canadian Football League, if you don't have quarterbacking, you have no chance.
Yeah, it's so true. When you look year by year, Gord, at the Grey Cup champions, you know, I am very much of the philosophy that your quarterback doesn't have to be the most outstanding player in the league, but if your quarterback's not at least in the conversation, you're going to have a hard time coming out on top when all's said and done.
Put another way, having good quarterbacking is no guarantee you'll win the Grey Cup. Having bad quarterbacking is a guarantee you won't, and you won't get close to it. And Willett on the first down carry. Claude Bethel-Thompson leads the league in touchdown passes. As you mentioned, though, Dwayne, Toronto throws the ball a lot more, down more.
Circumstance.
They've trailed a lot.
And a year where guys have been in and out of the lineup too because of injury. But that said,
he is defiant. He is absolutely defiant, a confident guy. 2nd and 5. Throws, has a man wide open. The pass is incomplete to Chandler Worthy. And it falls out of his reach.
And for me, the discussion surrounding McLeod Bethel-Thompson, you know, where the debate lies is, do you look at this guy and sort of look at the positive things? And he's done a lot of good things this season and his first real extended opportunity to play in professional football. And do you look at sort of the limited opportunity to play and say there's still a lot of upside to this guy, or do you look at him as a quarterback who's 31 years old and think, well, is he close to his ceiling, or where do we go from here? And you know, the decision that you make on that, where you stand on that particular question, I think decides where you go at the position when you're the Toronto Argonauts.
50-yard bunt by Ronnie Peffert, no return by Steph Logan. And so Ottawa will start first down at its own 36-yard line, 3:15 to go in the first half. It is a tough decision to make, and it's one that a lot of teams have had to make. And you know, there was a time, Dwayne, when you and I looked at the quarterback in Hamilton, it looked like couldn't play in this league, but Anthony Calvillo reclaimed his game.
Yeah.
And he wasn't 31, but he was in his late 20s, early 30s when he's established himself in Montreal.
Yeah, and you just never know, right? Everybody's development curve is different.
Arndt throws, a pass is caught by Hawley. They'll have a first down out across the 50-yard line to the 51. So a first down for Ottawa, down by 8 with 2:55 to go in the first half on the CFL on TSN from Toronto.
With $1 million touchdown.
We could use Henry Burris here today.
Yeah. Spice up the offense a little bit. Maybe Burris to Stiegel.
Yeah, there you go. First down. Galanders fights his way into Toronto territory. Gets a gain of 10. Enough for a first down.
I mentioned Brendan Galanders, former University of Ottawa star. Played his high school football at Sir Wilfrid Laurier Secondary. He and Curly Gittins Jr. The Argos actually from the same school. As a look at his work against the Hamilton Tiger Cats last week. 11 touches, 61 yards. And I mentioned him as a guy who's overcome some adversity in his career, kicked off his college career, winning the starting job at running back, and then on his first carry, broke his leg.
Yeah.
You know, came back, had very good career there, gets invited to the CFL Combine in 2013 and was having a terrific combine, dislocated his foot.
So Argo, by the way, that's Justin Thomas who's down.
So he ended up going undrafted that year. Got himself healthy, signed with the Argos as a free agent 2014, spent a couple of years with them, established himself as a very good special teamer before getting back to Ottawa, getting back home in 2016, joining the Redblacks. Getting a chance now to start at running back, but has been one of their top special teams players consistently over the last couple of years. This season among their team leaders and special teams tackles. Nice to see him get an opportunity on offense.
First down, here comes the blitz. Arndt throws, and the pass is complete. Caught by Sinopoli. And that'll be the all-time record for Ottawa professional football for Brad Sinopoli, who goes by Tony Gabriel. And then his next catch after this will be his 500th in the CFL. So Sinopoli goes by Gabriel.
Yeah. Get them all out of the way and very fitting. Radzinopoulos picking up first down yardage on the catch. Congratulations to him on that tremendous milestone.
First down from the 36. Arndt looking to the corner of the end zone. That pass is caught.
Love the adjustment to the ball by Dominique Rhymes.
That was almost Dominique Rhymes taking that away from Anthony Covington. Covington was standing under it, and Rhymes takes it away for the touchdown. A 36-yard score.
Well, you talk about whether you're a defensive player or an offensive player wanting to attack the ball at your highest point, go and get it, high point the football. Watch how Covington sits back. Rhymes comes underneath and attacks the football. He goes and gets it. Terrific play on the ball.
And Ottawa can now go for 2 to tie the football game. Fifth touchdown catch of the year for Rhymes, who had just 1 in his previous 6 games. So play fake, Sinopoli gonna fight and get there. Radzinopoulos, 500th career catch. Good for a 2-point convert.
And terrific effort.
Tied.
Nice effort right here.
So Ottawa takes advantage with a late first half scoring drive to even the game at 8.
Well, Will Arndt and his receiving core getting it going here. Here you'll see Dominique Rhymes on the outside. Watch how Covington has inside position on him, and Covington's looking at the ball coming in. As Covington's watching the ball, Rhymes is going and getting it. Looked almost as if Covington sort of thought he was in position. The ball was coming right to him. He's waiting for it to come down. Rhymes goes up over top of him.
What a great
touchdown catch.
And Will Arndt needed that after a struggle here in the first half.
Yeah. Get things going. A little bit of confidence for the young man.
And now Leone to kick it off. Gittins from his 15-yard line. And Gittins gets out to the 34. Brought down by Avery Ellis. So this will likely be McLeod Bethel Thompson's final series of the football game. We expect to see Dakota Prokop in the third quarter, and then Michael O'Connor at some point in the second half as well.
Yeah, the auditions and evaluations continue.
Argos will close out the season next week in Hamilton. Ottawa home to Montreal. Bethel Thompson slings it around for A.J. Ouellette. And Ouellette got taken down hard by Kevin Brown, has been a big factor defensively for Ottawa, along with Jared Fernandez. He was 8, brings up 2nd and 2 with the clock running here in Toronto. Bethel Thompson fires to S.J. Green, and Green has a first down out across the 50-yard line.
A quick hitter to move the sticks. Minute 33 to go with the ball near midfield, so plenty of time for McLeod Bethel Thompson.
Just a 3-man rush. Bethel Thompson throws, going to man wide open, and the pass is caught by Rod Smith down to the 10-yard line.
As Rodney Smith was running down the middle of the field wide open, he started to wave. Not wanted to be missed. Quads to the field. Rodney Smith is the inside guy, the number 4 receiver. And you'll see he just gets left.
Just a 3-man rush.
Splits
Bethel
the two.
Thompson throws, going to man wide open, And a pass is caught. Rodney Smith with a 45-yard gain down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, splitting those two deep defenders. You saw him, he knew he was open, wanted to make sure his quarterback didn't miss him before the defenders realized he was there.
Markham down at the 12, they swing it out, and here is Worthy. And Chandler Worthy comes out of the pile. Touchdown! So just like that, the Argos strike back. And Chandler Worthy has the score.
Well, Chandler Worthy looking to build on what he did last week in Montreal. A 93-yard effort there and a couple of terrific catches here.
Squirted out of that pile.
Yeah, guy who's had some experience as a kick returner demonstrates some of that ability to make people miss, fight through tackles, finds his way into the end zone.
So Worthy with his second touchdown catch, and now Medeiros missed a short field goal earlier with the point after try. And this time it's good. So Ottawa evens it up late in this first half, and a lightning strike from the Argos puts them back on top 15-8.
The big play, the bomb down the middle of the field. You got zone coverage, you run along those seams, split the defenders.
So a 4-play, 76-yard touchdown drive for Toronto.
Including with that bubble screen look to Chandler Worthy to restore the Argonaut lead. Great response after the Ottawa scoring drive.
Ottawa went 4 plays, 74 yards. You start the year in an 0-6 hole, and all of it with it. Of course, the change in general manager. But the Argos have primarily stuck with McLeod Bethel-Thompson as their quarterback most of the season.
Yeah, he took over. James Franklin opened the year. He got injured. Bethel-Thompson stepped in.
Medeiros sends this high in the air, taken by Logan at the 25-yard line. And Logan gets out to the 46. He got belted down there. A special teams tackle by Gilchrist.
Yeah, Gilchrist had him wrapped up. Frank Beltre came in and lowered the boom.
And Kevin Francis injured for Ottawa on the play with 43 seconds to go here in the second quarter. That's been the other factor for Ottawa this year, has been a ton of injuries. Antoine Pruneau has been out of the lineup for much of the year. Jonathan Rose in our defensive backfield. Injuries along the offensive line as well. Just one of those years where it just seemed like every little thing and a lot of big things went wrong.
Yeah, well, exactly. And, you know, they came out of the gate looking like they were going to exceed expectations. You look at the first couple of weeks of the season, a couple of quick wins.
Arndt sets up the screen, and Galanders is dropped right away. Good defensive play by Keenan Gilchrist. A gain of 4 on the play.
Important tackle. Keenan Gilchrist there is a big gap to the next level of defenders that he's not been able to get there in pursuit.
On second down, Arndt throws, and the pass is caught by R.J. Harris, and Harris has a first down out to midfield with 28 seconds to go. So a chance for Ottawa to get some points here right back. All of a sudden, all the scoring in the last 3 minutes here of the first half.
Offensive showcase.
Play was called before the ball was snapped. Referee Ben Major settling things down here. And now blows it in. Here we go. Little draw play. And Galanders gets belted down there. Toby Antigua on the tackle. That'll bring up 2nd and long with 19 seconds to go in the half.
An opportunity to see Will Arndt in hurry-up mode here.
Throws underneath. Sinopoli trying to get to the sidelines. Won't get there. Brought down by Shaq Richardson. Gain of 4. And is that far enough for Lewis Ward with a 56-yarder last week?
Yeah, career high.
A little bit of wind at his back here. I mean, this would be a 57-yard try. There's 8 seconds to go here, so time for one quick play if you wanted to.
Yeah, I suspect that rather than the quick hitter, they're throwing it up on the right side, quads to that side.
Time runs out. Arndt slips. Now just heaves that towards the end zone. There's a pile of players down there. And the pass is knocked down, incomplete. So the first half comes to an end. Toronto goes to the locker room with a 15-8 lead at halftime. Coming up at the half with Rod Smith and the Pen.
Thank you, Gord Miller. Back inside the studio, we welcome you to Ram at the Half. It is brought to you by the all-new Ram 1500 Motor Trend 2019 Truck of the Year. Another winning season for Ram, with the Argonauts in a 7-point lead over the Ottawa Redblacks. Back with Henry and Chesney and Milt. A strange question for a guy who's once again on top of the CFL in passing yards and touchdown passes. The first one over 4,000 yards, McLeod Bethel Thompson. And yet I ask, do you think he's back with the Argos next year?
He has to be back with this team. I mean, to do all the things that he's done on such a bad team, he deserves that opportunity. But when it comes to this game, we warned you. It was going to be like a preseason game. A lot of guys you probably never heard of before. But you do know who Big Beth is. He's played an outstanding half, 68% thrown for 2 touchdowns. He's proven that he deserves to be back to compete for the Argos next season.
Okay, another question here. Earlier, Brandon Banks went off again in a game that didn't have any bearing in the standings. Yep. Hamilton beat Montreal. 11 catches, 201. Is he the most outstanding player in the CFL this year?
Without a doubt. And I know some people may have maybe some argument about a couple of players over in the West. I don't know. But it's clear that he's the MOP. I mean, over 1,500 yards, and he's put up the touchdowns, too. 16 total touchdowns, 13 receiving, 1 rushing, and, of course, 2 on missed field goals. So he's done it off. He's not the MOP. I don't know who is. I think it's clear and cut.
And, look, he was almost ran out of favor with Ken Austin when he was there.
Is that crazy?
Because he didn't believe necessarily that Speedy could be a receiver. And traditionally, the way he runs routes, he's not like other receivers.
Right.
When I watch Speedy, though, he doesn't stem you like other receivers would and stick you, but he beats you by change of pace. And that's how he runs away. Because he's traditionally a returner, then when he gets in the open field, you see what he does with his like he did earlier today. But he's hard to guard because he's not traditional on how he runs his routes, but he gets open.
Yes. Well, if you combine him to everybody else in this league, he plays at a different speed. I mean, that's the reason why they call him Speedy. But honestly, he's the CFL's version of a cheat code. That's why he deserves to be the MOP, because nobody does it like him.
Speedy for MOP. What do you call that move again?
Oh, the toast law, a little 2-piece toast law with that. Gotta get a 2-piece with some toast law.
That's Oklahoma right there.
John Jones, he got his toast law today.
A look at the touchdowns from this game. Coming up, we'll hear from Trevor Harris back in the lineup for the Eskimos against the Riders. We'll be back.
What makes Ram the most awarded truck of the year? Everything.
So I've just been told to go out there and play. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play one as hard as I can and go to play two and then go to play three and just keep rolling.
You described yourself several times this week like Spider-Man without his web. The frustration of not being able to throw a football for a quarterback. How much did this test your patience and your frustration to get through this?
A lot, but I think anything I go through is God, molding me into what He needs me to be. And so I try and take any time I can to take a step back and realize what He's trying to tell me and learn through that and be able to be the best teammate I can and leader I can for the other guys.
Your playoff matchup is set, but you have a couple of games left here. What do you guys as a group need to accomplish over these next couple of weeks to make sure you're hitting your stride when the postseason starts?
Well, I firmly believe going into playoffs, you got to make winning a habit. And, if you can win games and make that a habit and that's who you become, then, you start winning because that's what you expect to do. And so we want to go out there and play well and win this game. So we want to go out there tonight and execute our game plan the best we can.
Thanks for your time. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So that could make it a little tougher for the Rough Riders, but they got a great opportunity here, Ches, with Calgary losing in Winnipeg last night.
This is like a playoff game.
Yeah.
It is, because if they win this game, they will have home field. They'll be one game away from the playoffs because that last week of the season, the Eskimos, I believe, will rest their guys. For the Riders, this is like a playoff game. If they win this game, they'll win the West, and they'll be one home game away from getting to the Grey Cup.
I disagree with you on that last game, and we discussed this earlier. Yep. Trevor Harris, he's been out so long. I think Jason Moss wants to get as much play as he can for Trevor Harris, which is going to make it a little bit tougher on these Rough Riders. If they do control their own destiny, but it's not going to be a cakewalk. Everybody's saying, well, the Eskimos don't have anything to play for. They definitely have something to play for because they want to have some momentum going into the playoffs. So this is not going to be as easy as everyone thinks for these Rough Riders.
Well, Saskatchewan, beware, because we saw last night what Zach Claros did for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The same effect for Trevor Harris coming back will be felt for the Edmonton Eskimos, but the number one thing these two teams need to do, take care of their penalties, because right now penalties are losing games. It's the kryptonite for every team in this league.
And to be clear, you think if the Riders win this one, they will win the rematch against Edmonton, because if they do win both, then they're guaranteed first place in the West, regardless of what happens with Calgary and BC next week to end up the regular season. The Argos and the Redblacks winding it down as well, and it is Toronto with a late touchdown. Chandler Worthy getting it, and they have the one touchdown lead. We'll be back with the stats after this.
Are you suffering with pain? Tired of costly appointments? Is pain affecting your sleep and work? Imagine living with less pain. Try Dr. Ho's Pain Therapy Pro, the drug-free pain relief device that helps relieve your muscle and arthritis pain.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ho. For years, I've been helping my patients with pain with my Pain Therapy Pro system. It helps to reduce your muscle tension, improve the circulation, and relieve the pain.
The secret is Dr. Ho's 3-in-1 pain relief technology, TENS EM.
Argos lead the Redblacks by 7 at the half. Here's Milton with some numbers.
And Henry Burris said this was going to be like a preseason game. These guys were playing hard, Henry. 2 solid plays by both of the quarterbacks in the first half, but the big story has to be S.J. Green. Once again, going over 1,000 yards. Congratulations to one of the greatest who's ever done it.
Absolutely, and here is S.J. now with Matthew Shinetti.
SJ, I've known you for a long time. I've seen you win a Grey Cup, but I don't think I've ever seen an expression like you had when you saw your family unexpectedly arrive here to help celebrate those 10,000 yards. What did that feel like to see them when they came on the field?
It was quite a surprise because my wife was supposed to surprise me or come up yesterday, and she told me she lost her passport. So to see her and my 2 kids on the field with me unexpectedly was amazing, man. I loved it.
I know those championship rings will represent singular moments to you, but to your children, Kayla and SJ the third, what do you want those 2 footballs to signify to them?
Anything is possible, man. No matter where you come from, no matter what you're doing in life, anything is possible when you put your mind to something.
Thanks for this, SJ.
Thank you.
That was a nice moment seeing his family there to share with him for 10,000 his career, another 1,000-yard season. S.J. Green of the Argos, who lead the way at halftime. Second half coming up. This halftime show brought to you by the new Ram Heavy Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup ever. Always ready for the second half.
Second of our 3 CFL games today, as Toronto leading Ottawa 15-8. Another banner day for Ottawa receiver Brad Sinopoli, who's standing by with our Matthew Shinetti.
Brad, I know you're humble, but when you look at the fact that you just passed Tony Gabriel for most receptions in Ottawa football history, along with your other accomplishments, it's not a bad career so far. I imagine that you use that as motivation for the next step.
Yeah, exactly. I've been pretty lucky so far, and it's an honor, and I hope we can just cap it off with a win tonight.
Now, I know he's playing on the other side, but when you look at someone like S.J. Green, we talked about consistency before the game. Is he one of those guys you look up to as a model of someone who's been doing it over and over and over again for so long?
I mean, yeah, just watch him. It's amazing. Even just watching his highlights, you kind of forget how many amazing catches he's made over the years. And it doesn't matter the situation. He just always comes up big.
And I imagine you're looking at something like 10,000 yards, the number of catches he has. You have 500 right now, but that's the thing that you want to strive towards?
One at a time.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
That's how you do it, right?
Yes, sir. Great approach.
As Jay Green and the Argo offense will go back to work here in the second half. We expect to see Dakota Prokop at quarterback here in the second half, and then Michael O'Connor, the much-awaited debut of the Canadian quarterback. And you talked about the Canadian quarterbacking situation earlier in the CFL.
Well, yeah, you know, as I said, it's a bit of a head-scratcher for me that this year in the CBA, they changed the rules a little bit so that when a Canadian quarterback is on the field, he counts as one of your 7 Canadians in the game at that time. So in theory, you've now made it easier for a Canadian quarterback to get on the field.
Right.
Because previously there's never been an incentive. There's never been sort of a benefit, so to speak, to that. And yet in the same CBA, starting next year, there will be 2 global players on rosters, with the second global player replacing the third quarterback. So we're going to go down to only 2 quarterbacks. So it may become easier for a quarterback who's on the roster, Canadian quarterback, to get on the field, but it will become even harder for a Canadian quarterback to get on the roster in the first place. And that's something that I think they've got to revisit.
Got Logan up to the 25-yard line. By the way, hugging Michael O'Connor there was one of the interesting sportsmen in Toronto. That's Herbie Keane. He's the PA announcer for the Toronto Raptors. He's also the Argos team chaplain. He's a terrific guy. He's a day 1 employee of the Raptors. He'll get his Raptors championship ring in a week or so. He's already got an Argo ring from 2017. Terrific family man, and just a great guy who loves sports in the city of Toronto.
Yes, sir.
First down, Ottawa from its 25-yard line, and the give goes to Brendan Galanders for a gain of maybe a yard. Ottawa's been a little more circumspect about what the quarterbacking situation will be today. Whether we'll see Davis or Jennings.
Yeah, and I would think, you know, and I alluded to it earlier, the expectation to me is that you let Willard play, right? The other 2 guys have sort of had their opportunities through the year. They've been around the league for a few years. And so just in terms of that evaluation.
Barnes is sacked on the play.
You know, there's value from an evaluation point of view. Nakas Onyeka, Wilfrid Laurier product, in on the tackle.
Second sack of the game for the Argos.
Onyeka, by the way, facing his cousin Kenny.
Yes.
Backup defensive lineman with Ottawa. Both out there today.
Richie Leone back to punt. Tumbling kick in front of Worthy at the 40-yard line. Worthy with the flag down. The ball comes out. It looks like the Argos recovered it as Levi Noel grabbed that bouncing ball, but there's a flag on the play. And we will get a look at Dakota Prokop, who has seen very limited action this year so far for Toronto. Just 13 attempts, 8 completions, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. So they'll tack on 5 on the end of that return. First down, Toronto from the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Prokop saw action earlier in the season against Edmonton.
Third-year man from Oregon. And the first down carry goes to A.J. Ouellette. Ouellette breaks free. And Ouellette gets inside the 25-yard line. Brought down to the 23 for a run of 36 yards.
A little burst out of the pack there from A.J. Ouellette. He's getting his shoulders turned north-south. This job breaking a couple of tackles there at second level. Strong guy, low center of gravity.
On first down, Prokop tucks his head down and gets belted inside the 15-yard line. Gets close to a first down, might be a touch short.
Now, Prokop is a guy who Took, we'll call it the Vernon Adams path. Finished his college career at Oregon. He actually started off at Montana State. Had a terrific career there.
Markham a yard short of a Toronto first down at the 15-yard line. And will just pull his way straight ahead. And will move the sticks for the Argos.
Team's developing a little bit of animosity here with their second meeting in 3 weeks.
Both here, which is unusual.
Yeah, a bit of a scheduling quirk. There's Argos offense coordinator, Jacques Chapdelaine. We'll see how he changes a few things up here in the second half to play to the strengths of his other quarterbacks. We expect to see Prukop and O'Connor.
Here comes the rush. Prukop stands in, throws to the end zone. The pass is caught. Touchdown Argos on the reception by Rodney Smith. And Prukop comes on for an opening drive touchdown.
Well, in his attempt to give the fans a souvenir, Rodney Smith just threw the ball right out of the stadium.
He did. I think he hit your car with it.
I'll have a look here. Prukop stands in, good protection, and lets his big receiver, Rodney Smith, about 6'5", just go up and get it in a crowd. Low stands.
Yes, at that end.
Behind that end zone, so.
Someone standing on the sidewalk. You might just got a football fly by. Medeiros for the point after. And it is good. An impressive drive for the Toronto Argonauts. And Rodney Smith caps it off with the touchdown reception to make it a 14-point lead.
Only Ram delivers more of what you need. Ram gives you more power, more payload, more towing, more luxury, more than any other truck is capable of, and more than enough to get named Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. The all-new Ram 1500 and the new Ram 3500. Right now, get up to $10,500 in discounts plus lease rates as low as 2.99% for up to 27 months.
With $1 Million Touchdown to Win, we want to give you a reason to celebrate. And now we're making it even more exciting to shop your favorite products, like Pepsi 12-pack soft drinks.
Well, my bad. He threw the football in the stadium. Prukop's first touchdown pass.
Well, I mean, that it might be sitting right beside Prukop's car after the game. So
here's Logan from the 5-yard line. Logan gets out to about the 18, and that's where Ottawa will go back to work. So now down 22-8.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, what's been a tough year for the Toronto Argonauts.
Good shit, Dakota.
No doubt. Nice for those guys to be able to smile a little bit on the sidelines.
Early movement. Flag slide.
Procedure, Ottawa number 63. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat first down.
That one will go against the right tackle. Stefan Nembot. Lone American on that Ottawa offensive line.
Back of the 8-yard line. Swinging up to Galanders, and Galanders brought down on a flying tackle there by Nakasonyeka. And no gain on the play.
Onyeka among those getting an extended opportunity to play here today. Part of a great defense at Wilfrid Laurier University. So he and Kwaku Boateng with Edmonton. His cousin, Godfrey Onyeka, also with the Edmonton Eskimos, part of that defense for the Golden Hawks.
Second down and a bunch, and Arndt just throws that away. So once again, Richie Leone will come on to punt. I said it somewhat facetiously in the first half, but Leone arguably has been Ottawa's best player from start to finish this year.
Yeah, I mean,
great year kicking the football.
If you were going to sort of evaluate guys based strictly on how they have done their own jobs, Richie Leone has probably been the most consistent, most reliable performer for this team.
Worthy stands back at midfield. 6 2-and-outs for Ottawa this afternoon. Worthy, oh, look out, trying to find that football. It comes free, but he got buried on the special teams tackle by Ottawa's Anthony Chiaffi. Looking, look out.
Broken furnace.
Well, Chandler Worthy up and back on the sidelines. A little bit of a smile. But after a bit of a bobble, he barely had time to get his head up and recover that football before Anthony Chiaffi was on him. Again, the 5 yards in terms of a no yards call is when the ball is first touched, and it had hit Worthy's foot.
Brookham throws, Javon Noel wide open, and he gets down to the 15-yard line. And Chiaffi saves a touchdown there with the tackle, but the gain is 26.
Dakota Prukop finding his stride very quickly at the helm of this Toronto Argonaut offense. A little bit of play action. set up by some of the success that Ouellette has had to this point in the ball game.
On first down, Prukop gets flushed out and just airmails that away. Was being chased down by Chanel Jacobs.
A good decision for a young quarterback. Prukop, a guy who's been here with the Argonauts now into his third year. Athletic quarterback, as I mentioned, a guy who's actually, much as Cody Fajardo had done before, spent a little bit of time on the punt cover unit.
Yeah.
As well, playing some special teams, taking advantage of that athleticism, finding a way to get on the field.
Now Prukop directing traffic here, but gonna have to call a timeout here. The play clock winding down.
Timeout, Toronto.
Trying to get Rodney Smith to move.
Yeah, and you know, and I like the poise demonstrated by Prukop with the throwaway on the last play, recognizing, yeah, you may be a scrambler, but you sort of get lucky to escape the first guy. If nothing's there, don't force a play, especially given that you're in good field position. Throw it away, protect the field position, and same idea with the timeout. Don't hurt your field position because of some cross signals, and that can be a bit of a result of having some different guys in the lineup here in the second half. You saw S.J. Green over on the sideline.
Second down, Prukop gets away. A long way to go, just pitches it there. Caught by Ouellette, and he's in for a touchdown. Prukop just got that away before he crossed the line of scrimmage. It's another touchdown pass, a 15-yard score, and the Argos extend their lead.
Well, you get a taste of the skill set of Dakota Prukop. This is it. This is a mobile, athletic quarterback, a guy who's able to go off script a little bit and create, extend plays. That's what he does. Aware of where the line of scrimmage is. You see it's the 15-yard line, and he kind of does the tightrope back to stay behind it. Delivering the ball to A.J. Ouellette. The newcomer Ouellette has himself a CFL touchdown.
Medeiros puts the point after up and through, and it's now a 29-8 lead in favor of the Argos. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for Dakota Prukop at the controls. And Ouellette's got a score as well as the Argos are moving ahead.
Field, the Beaches, that's Jordan, Eliza, Leandra, and Kylie, and they will be rocking the Grey Cup, the Sirius XM kickoff show. I'm alongside Leandra here. How big is that, knowing you're going to be part of Canada's biggest party?
It's massive. I grew up watching the Grey Cup with my dad, so it's really cool to be performing on that. Like, insane.
And the energy last year, knowing the way CFL fans are to play to them, what kind of energy do you get from CFL fans?
They've got big hearts. They are passionate. A lot of love to share. They're just wonderful people.
Now, and I know after watching that set last year, you brought a lot of energy. Can you give us a sense of what we could see in Calgary?
We're going to bring the warmth. It's going to be super cold there, so yeah, expect a lot of warm loving from us, a little dancing, rock and roll.
Can't wait for it. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Steph Logan from the 6-yard line. And he gets out to the 38-yard line. So it was a 3-play, 41-yard drive for the Argos. And Willett has the touchdown, his first in the CFL.
And he was warned, Dakota Prukop told him, whatever you do, don't give the ball to Rodney Smith after you score.
He'll throw it right out of the stadium.
He's not very sentimental.
You collect stuff?
I collect a little bit of stuff. My wife wishes I would collect less stuff.
Yes. 3 on the play for the Landers. 6:40 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I don't think I have my ball from my first touchdown. It took me like 4 or 5 years to get my first touchdown, so
by then no one realized.
I threw it away in disgust.
Second down, Hart under pressure, and down he goes. Got caught from behind by Nakazanyeka, and they got him pretty close to behind the line of scrimmage, so that'll be a sack. And Dwayne Gabriel there as well, so it's a third sack for the Argos. And once again, another 2 and out for Ottawa. That's 7 in the game today. So on the season for Ottawa, that's 114 2 and outs, by far the most of any team in the league. Well, a good kick. Chases Worthy back inside the 30-yard line. Worthy trying to get the corner, can't quite get there, as Kevin Brown got an arm on him. 29-8, the Argos lead on the CFL on TSN from Toronto. So Dakota Prukop threw his first career touchdown pass to Rodney Smith, who probably threw the ball out of the stadium.
Yeah, this was Rodney's celebration.
Whoa.
Throwing it to the fans, got a little too much on the throw.
And then later said, my bad. Sorry about that. There's Prukop back to work. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns so far for him. And a quick pass there to Edwards. Goes out of bounds. Here's Matthew Shinetti with more on that mix-up earlier.
Yeah, let me be Captain Obvious, Gord, because Dakota Prukop was not happy with Rodney Smith when he threw that ball out of the stadium, and Rodney Smith tried to apologize, saying that, oh, I'll go grab it, don't worry, and then Prukop, I'm being told, then said, yeah, it's probably in the lake. You probably threw it in the lake, Rodney.
Yeah, well, again, it did sail over the back railing of the concourse.
Good throw.
It was a good throw. Rodney Smith may not be open again the rest of the third quarter.
A.J. Ouellette on the first down carry, gets about 6 on the play. Market is a gain of 7.
You've got to like what you've seen.
Yeah.
Dakota Prukop here.
We do expect to see Michael O'Connor here before the day is out, the Canadian quarterback who was the 3rd round draft pick of the Argos in the 2019 CFL draft out of UBC. And Levi Noel with a catch. And a first down and more for the Argos. Down to the Ottawa 44-yard line.
Well, we talked a little bit last week watching the Toronto Argonauts about the fact that your game film is your resume.
Right.
And constantly, you know, that resume is what helps you get future jobs. And so regardless of whether players will be back or whether they will be looking for employment elsewhere, what they do over these last couple of weeks will go a long way.
Prukop throws. Edwards the catch. Another first down to the 32-yard line. Covered there by Brandon Dandridge. But once again, Prukop moves the sticks. And this is different than a preseason game in that you are playing against regulars. There are some changes for Ottawa. This is primarily their #1 team.
Yep.
In a regular season game.
Yeah, the speed of the game and so on. You know, and Prukop, we mentioned he saw a little bit of action in the Argos game against Edmonton. Bethel Thompson had struggled a little bit, and Prukop had struggles of his own in that football game, but now getting another opportunity.
Here comes the blitz. Prukop stands in and throws. The pass is dropped.
Right on the money.
Worthy, right between the zeros.
Yeah. Perfectly thrown ball right on the money, and really one of the few mistakes Chandler Worthy has made in the last couple of weeks. But max protection, he's got time to stand in. Perfect throw.
Brings up second down from the 26. 4-man rush. Prukop jumps ahead. Oh, look out. He got spun around in a hard collision there. Darius Jackson was in there. And it'll bring up third down and a field goal situation for the Argos.
Big shot. As Prukop is just fighting through, trying to fight through that shoestring tackle. Darius Jackson lowers the boom.
So Medeiros will try this from 30 yards out. And Medeiros puts it through. And now a 23-point lead for the Argos. Wednesday on CTV, Kobe Smulders is the toughest nails PI. Get an all-new episode of Stumptown Wednesday at 10, 8 Mountain, only on CTV. Then stream it anytime. 4-point lead for the Argos in their final home game of the year. They'll close out in Hamilton next week. Hamilton with a come from behind win over Montreal earlier today. And we were talking about outstanding player. Brandon Banks at over 200 yards receiving today, 3 touchdowns. Is he the most outstanding player this year?
Well, I think there's a great conversation to be had. Obviously, Brandon Banks is one of the most talked about candidates.
Would you get another one from Hamilton?
Well, you know, I don't think Dane Evans has been mentioned enough in the conversation. I think when you look sort of week by week at what he's done. And yeah, he didn't start until about a month into the season when Jeremiah Masoli went down, but he has kept that offense humming right along. You know, Braylon Addison, I think, has been terrific over there as well. But
on second down, Arndt gets flushed out, and look out, Cleon Lang forced it back inside, and Bishop, along with Gaydosh, brings down the Ottawa quarterback.
Gaydosh, former #1 overall pick in the CFL draft out of the University of Calgary.
That's an 8 2 out for Ottawa today. Apologize for that. Moment of exuberance on the sidelines.
Leon Lang jokingly upset that Gaydosh beat him to the sack.
The punt bounces at the 45, and the Argos lucky to get it back. Some great names on that banner. Of course, the Grey Cup championship years for the Argos. Long time between 52 and 83 when they finally broke through again. And Ricky Ray led them to the most recent in 2017. His career ended prematurely due to injury. So the third quarter coming to an end here, and here he is. Michael O'Connor in. We saw him on a short yardage play in the first half, and he comes in now, throws over the top. He's got a man wide open, Amani Edwards. And just like that, O'Connor completes it to Edwards.
Well, what a way to start.
Down to the 30-yard line. And the third quarter's come to an end, but the Michael O'Connor era is beginning, and we'll have his fourth quarter when we come back. For Ottawa in the third quarter, 185 yards for Toronto by Corey Prukup, and minus 14 for Ottawa. We'll now see Michael O'Connor here in the fourth quarter. What are you looking for?
Well, the big things I think you want to see is his level of poise, decision making, the basics. He doesn't necessarily have to complete every throw, but you want to see him looking to the right receiver, as I said, making the right reads, making the right decisions with the football.
It takes over for Dakota Prukup, and Comes out with a 22-yard completion to Armani Edwards and kind of said my bad at the end of it because he had him in stride. Yeah. Held him up a bit. O'Connor, we talked about, went to Penn State for a year, transferred to UBC. He's an Ottawa native. Big kid, 6'4", 220 pounds.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of times people will look and think, oh, he was at a Division I school and came back to Canada. Michael O'Connor made a choice to get on the field and to play Canadian football.
Gives it off to Ouellette, and Ouellette gets brought down around the corner as the stop was made by Gerard Fernandez.
This is a kid who had plenty of Division I offers after a redshirt year. Was looking to transfer when there had been a coaching change at Penn State.
Guided UBC to the 2015 Vanier Cup Championship.
Yeah, I mean, that's his first year of university football. This is as a freshman. The stage was not too big, and this has kind of been the thing about Michael O'Connor because of where he's been, what he's done, and so on.
And he fires that for a first down, finding Edwards again. And Edwards gets inside the 15 and down to the 13-yard line. Their first down for the Argos.
You know, Michael O'Connor is, as a Canadian quarterback, expected to be a guy for whom the stage isn't too big.
Game was 15 there. Edwards has 126 yards receiving the game so far, including 2 completions from O'Connor.
Well, and that'll pull him within 48 yards of 1,000 on the season.
O'Connor throws it back against the grain. The pass is caught as the fullback, Declan Cross, made the grab. Gain of a couple on the play.
Yeah, almost a screen kind of look here. Rolling one way, he knows he's going back opposite to Cross. Working underneath.
Gain of a couple at 2nd and 8. And O'Connor looking to the end zone to Smith. Touchdown! And this time he hangs on to the ball.
He did.
Oh no.
He did it again.
He threw it in the stands.
Rodney Smith did it again.
Oh. Now that ball is in the stand, so they should be able to retrieve it.
McLeod Bethel Thompson might be the only quarterback left who will throw Rodney Smith a pass at this point.
I thought he was going to hang on to it.
He caught this ball, and I mean, let's celebrate the first career CFL touchdown pass from Michael O'Connor. But he catches this ball, and we're both up here thinking, there's no way he's going to throw the ball in the stands again.
And you know what? This might be challenged. Yeah, Ottawa's going to challenge it. I think they have retrieved the football.
Ottawa is challenging that Toronto number 81 committed offensive pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
So hold all tickets.
We'll take a look back at this play. Rodney Smith is going to come from the number 3 spot, and he's working deep in the middle. Ottawa challenging offensive pass interference. We'll see if there's a push here. Yeah, from that angle, and obviously there's some distance there. He extended the left arm a little bit, but you know, at that speed, it's you see the reaction of Corey Tyndall right away. He says he was pushed. There you see he's got the left arm out. Tyndall's trying to jam on the brakes there.
What say you?
Well, you know, I spent my whole career playing offense, so I might be a little biased here.
Hey, stop playing! Stop playing! Stop playing!
All right, so Ben Major talking to the command center. All right, so the call's been made. Let's go to Ben Major with the decision. Does O'Connor have his first CFL touchdown pass?
Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. There's no pass interference. Ottawa loses, 1 timeout. It's a touchdown.
Michael O'Connor has his first, and that's a great moment for him. Young man from Ottawa. He's named after his uncle who played for the Ottawa Rough Riders. His late uncle passed away later, but what a moment for O'Connor. He'll get on the headset with Chaplin, the offensive coordinator.
And not just his first touchdown pass, but a pretty good-looking first drive.
Yeah. In fact, the 2 quarterbacks for Toronto, Prukup and O'Connor, have both been impressive here in the second half.
They have.
And now Medeiros for the point after. The Argos extend their lead, now 39-8. Michael O'Connor to Rodney Smith. And they did get the ball back this time, by the way.
With $1 Million Touchdown to Win, we want to give you a reason to celebrate.
Here in the second half, Dakota Prukup to him, and then Smith throws it literally out of the stadium. And later said, my bad, sorry about that. And then he catches this one from Michael O'Connor, launched into the crowd, but this time caught by a fan, and the Argos able to make the appeal. Yeah, going back, good for the fan.
Yeah, recognizing they were asking for it.
Irby Kuhn, the Argo chaplain, Raptors PA announcer, got the ball back, and so O'Connor will have.
Nobody's going to throw the ball to Rodney Smith anymore.
Well, not if you don't have a touchdown pass, that's for sure. Here's Logan from his 5-yard line. And Logan gets out to the 26. It's been a miserable day offensively for Ottawa. I mean, it's been a horrible day. Smith, by the way, 2 touchdown receptions on the day. What a moment, though, for Michael O'Connor. And we've seen this over the years. And, you know, we're both friends of Jamie Bone, who was one of the first great Canadian quarterbacks who didn't really get a chance.
Yeah.
And we've seen a number of them over the years. And some have made some impact, others haven't. But
well, and one of the neat things now, though, is that it's becoming increasingly frequent, right? It's less of an anomaly when a Canadian quarterback comes along with the credentials, the ability to come in and compete in the Canadian Football League. I mean, you're seeing Michael O'Connor now. One of the most talked about kids in the 2020 draft class will be Nathan Rourke at Ohio University. This is a kid with the possibility, some talk that he could end up in an NFL camp next year. You know, you've had other Canadians starting at NCAA schools this year. University of Connecticut has actually had 2 different Canadian start at quarterback for them this season, Mike Beaudry and Jack Zergiotis. So you're seeing more and more. And of course, Brandon Bridge still with the BC Lions.
Right. Caleb Hawley takes that, gets a first down for Ottawa. I mentioned that first downs have been hard to come by for Ottawa this year. 51 fewer than any other CFL team entering this week. See Joe Paopao there. And of course, one of the big stories in Ottawa was Jamie Elizondo, the offensive coordinator, resigning on the eve of the season. Wasn't replaced.
Yeah, and a tough situation where you had other coaches like Joe Paopao, Winston October, put in a position where they're sort of trying to run Jamie Elizondo's system to maintain some continuity, but then also realizing you've got different players with different abilities, different skill sets than what you've had in the past. So they end up changing the scheme partway through the season.
That was Ottawa's first down of the second half.
It has been all Toronto. As the story of the second half has been their young quarterbacks. Dakota Prukop with an absolutely tremendous third quarter, and then Michael O'Connor comes out on his first drive, goes 4 for 4 for 59 yards and a touchdown.
They began the year alternating Davis and Jennings. Toronto has pretty much gone with McLeod Bethel-Thompson after James Franklin began the year as a starter, but Michael O'Connor will have people talking here. Football team looking for some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, intriguing young man Michael O'Connor has a maturity and professionalism that belie his 23 years.
So we should point out the actual path. So from Ottawa High School.
He was at Ashbury College in Ottawa.
He goes to prep school in the United States for 2 years.
Baylor School in Tennessee.
And then to the IMG Academy in Florida, right?
Yeah, which is obviously a high-end football program and that churns out Division I recruits. So you're talking about a guy who's a very highly recruited, not just a very highly recruited Canadian, one of the most highly recruited quarterbacks in the U.S. when he's coming out of IMG Academy.
First down, Ottawa. Arndt runs into a teammate and gets up to the 40-yard line. And from there to Penn State.
Yeah, recruited to Penn State, redshirted. As so many freshmen do in his first year. After that first year, coaching change takes place. And the system is changing a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And O'Connor looking to move and still having plenty of Division I suitors. He chooses to go north of the border.
R.J. Harris the catch at midfield. A gain of 15, another first down for Ottawa.
Ends up at UBC with a UBC program that recruited a number of players to come back from playing south of the border. And in his first year at UBC, leads the Thunderbirds to a Vanier Cup victory.
Greg Morris on the carry, gets a first down for the 44. Eric Stryker.
His hands were cold.
First down from the 44-yard line. Arndt swings it out. And Morris the catch, but he got bumped right away by Shaquille Richardson. And probably a loss of a yard in the play.
There's Richardson, the former Calgary Stampeder, just joined the Argos last week in time for their game in Montreal. First time in Calgary, had an NFL stint. Released this season as a free agent, was eyeing a 2020 return to the CFL. And John Murphy, the Argos Director of Player Personnel, suggested, well, why don't you come and finish the year up here with us?
Morris on second down, but he got held up on the tackle by Anthony Covington. We got third down for Ottawa.
Regardless of score, Will Arndt looking to finish this one out. on a positive note.
So third down gamble, 8 yards to go. 4-man rush. Arndt throwing over the top. And incomplete. There's a flag down in the backfield. He was looking there for Wesley Lewis.
Holding, Ottawa number 56. Penalties decline. It's going to be third down.
That'll be a turnover on downs. And so the Argos will get the football back. We're going to look at Michael O'Connor with Toronto leading 39-8 here in the fourth quarter.
Dinner's ready.
Can take over sole possession of first place in the West Division. Edmonton for the crossover.
Yep, big game for them with the return, however, of Trevor Harris.
Yeah.
So they look to get him tuned up in time for the East semifinal in Montreal.
So O'Connor and the Argonauts start from their 42-yard line. Play fake. O'Connor stands in and throws. He took a wicked shot from Chanel Jenkins. Got the pass away, but it falls incomplete.
You know, not that you ever want to see your quarterback get hit, but in terms of sort of proving himself, this is part of it for Michael O'Connor, is, you know, proving a willingness to stand in there and take that shot and bounce right back up. Ready to do it again.
Brings up second down. Inside 8 to go in the fourth quarter. And O'Connor slings it deep. Lots of coverage down there. The pass is incomplete. Rodney Smith has knocked that away from Corey Tyndall.
Had Tyndall intercepted that?
Yes.
And tried to save the ball?
Yes. Rodney Smith would have flooded the crowd.
Yeah.
We have a punting situation for Toronto. Pepper just tumbled that down. That hit the back of his teammate. Hit Alex Charette in the back.
Yeah, so that's immediately no yards.
It's
theoretically
literally
ball
no
in
yards.
the air.
See that every day. Charette down in the coverage and the ball hit him. We're back.
No yards. Ottawa number 11. 15-yard penalty. It'll be first down.
With Safeway's My CFL Family Contest, your family
trying to get something, anything going here. And there's Morris on the first down carry. Picks up 7 on the play.
Morris in there for Galanders as the Redblacks have gone Canadian at the running back spot for these last couple of weeks. Morris, a Toronto guy who went out west to play a little bit of junior football. Spent some time playing junior college ball at New Mexico Military, which has been a little bit of a pipeline for Canadian players in recent years.
Second and short. Arndt flush, throws. And the pass is caught there. Anthony Gosselin. Gosselin has a first down inside the 40-yard line. So first down for the Toronto 38-yard line. Clock continues to run.
We talked a little bit earlier, Gord, about Ottawa keeping Will Arndt in, obviously wanting to get a larger body of work in terms of their evaluation of him, but also just from a development point of view. He's a young quarterback, just in his second year in the league, that you have an opportunity down the stretch to get him some meaningful reps and let him play in all sorts of different situations.
Well, Ottawa's other 2 quarterbacks are both veterans, right? Davis and Jennings have been around. It's not like you've got Prukup and O'Connor, who have seen very limited action. And as opposed to a preseason game, Arndt is playing with Ottawa's starting offensive line.
Playing with starters against starters.
Flags are down. It was way offside.
Before the play, offside, Ottawa number 85. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat second down.
For the last few years, so much went right for Ottawa, right? So many things just seem to break their way. This year, they just...
Yeah.
But now the question you have to ask is, what does next year look like?
Yeah.
Who's your opening day starting quarterback? Is someone in-house, or you in the market? Arndt throws. That's caught by Harris at the 31-yard line. Inside 5 to go here in the 4th quarter. I want to take a moment to single out a person that's so helpful. I don't do a lot of CFL games, but Steve Daniel at the Canadian Football League does a great job. So I want to thank him for all the assistance he's provided.
Yes, absolutely. Traded emails with Steve yesterday as he helped me out, as he does on a weekly basis. Looks after the master of all CFL statistics.
Ward of the field goal try, and it's wide to the left. And Worthy stepped out of the end zone. It'll be a single point for Ottawa. Here's Matthew Shinetti.
Oh, Gord, so much attention on Michael O'Connor. Well, John Murphy, the vice president of player personnel, is standing right next to me, and Corey Chamberlain is watching. They're looking for 3 things: how Michael O'Connor takes the play in, what he understands from Jacques Chapdelaine, how he relays it to his teammates, and then how he executes it. It's all about the nuances. We have seen Michael O'Connor, at least I have in practice, he throws a very pretty ball against air, but they want to know if he can understand the detail side of the game. That's going to be the most important thing. When I ask how it is to be a Canadian quarterback in this situation, well, there came the old
for Michael O'Connor.
Cameron Walker got to him.
Yeah, Guelph product, former Argonaut. In with the shot, but for Michael O'Connor, after a year of standing on the sidelines holding the clipboard, those hits don't feel so bad. Nice to be back in the action.
So Pepper on to punt. And he booms that one. Chases Logan inside the 20-yard line down to the 15. Logan trying for the corner. He got pushed out of bounds there by Levi Noel.
Oh, Levi Noel, the young receiver who's established himself over the last few years as one of the Argos' top special teamers. A lot of credit. A lot of times people look at backup receivers, kind of think it's, let's just say Milt Stiegel didn't cover a lot of kicks.
No. Nor should have. Hard little play fake. Flips that out. The pass is caught by Nate Bahar, and that'll be the 3-minute warning. And not a moment too soon. 39-9. The Argos lead here in quarter number 4.
Midas has great brands and great
Weeks later, after he was hurt to lead the Edmonton Eskimos against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who still have first place in the West in their sights. Let's go back to Gordon Dwayne in Toronto.
And Jonathan Jennings comes on with short yardage unit for Ottawa. On 2nd and a yard, dives ahead and has a first down. And the question remains, if you had to guess, who would be the starting quarterback for Ottawa in the first game next year. By the way, Will Arndt today, 20 of 31, 185 yards, 1 touchdown for Ottawa. Is it someone internal? Are they going outside? Are they going to?
My expectation would be that the Redblacks would look outside of the organization for their next starting quarterback.
Okay. First down from the 37-yard line. And a play fake. And Arndt is under pressure, and he's dropped. Running a long way to grab him was Robbie Smith. And the gain is 5 on the play.
Oh, Robbie Smith from his defensive end spot. Rookie out of Wilfrid Laurier. Getting involved in the plays, had the opportunity to make a couple of starts this season. The man on whom the Argonauts are high. They're selecting him 9th overall this year.
That pass complete to Lewis, but he dropped the football. And the Argos recover the fumble. Gabriel with the recovery. And so the Argos get the football back deep in Ottawa territory.
Well, there you have the catch, tucks it, and heads upfield. Shaq Richardson punched it out.
So first down for the Argos from the Ottawa 29-yard line, and O'Connor comes back in. Chance to add to his totals here. O'Connor's got some grass stains from his earlier efforts.
Taking a couple of shots.
Taking a couple of nasty ones standing in there. And so first down from the 29-yard line. Here's Ouellette. He gets stacked up right away. And the question for the Argos could be fairly asked too, is the answer at quarterback internal as well?
And you know, I would say that for the Argos, the answer is more likely internal than it is for Ottawa, but I'm sure that they will explore all options.
Screen pass, and Ouellette gets wrapped up right away by Ottawa's Shahid Tolman, and that'll be short of a Toronto first down. We saw Zach Collaros last night do a good job for Winnipeg. They bring him back. Yes. Hamilton's, you know, next year, presuming Mazzoli's healthy, you're going to have Dane Evans and Jeremiah Mazzoli there.
Yeah,
if they're,
you know, I mean, whether Jeremiah Mazzoli is going to be ready to open the season or not.
We have seen quarterbacks change teams before in this league.
That we have.
It's happened.
Yeah, I mean, there are some free agents to be, Jeremiah Mazzoli included.
Here's a third down gamble. Now O'Connor stands in, throws towards the end zone, and the pass is incomplete. Flag comes down at the goal line. He was looking down there to Chandler Worthy.
Yeah, Worthy tripped up. Looked like he got his feet tangled with the defender near the goal
Toronto,
line.
number 0. The penalties decline.
They're calling it on him.
It's a turnover on downs. First down for Ottawa.
So Ottawa gets it back.
There you saw Worthy. I don't know if he was necessarily looking to interfere as much as he was just trying to stay up as he was losing his footing. Grabbed the defender, Ferris.
Ottawa takes over at its 25-yard line. Ottawa, as we mentioned, will close out its season next week at home to Montreal. Toronto will be in Hamilton. First down. Morris gets thrown back. So the Argos will get their 4th win of the year, and Ottawa's losing streak will reach 10. I'm going to presume you were never on a football team that lost 10 straight games.
It was mostly on good teams. We did here in Toronto in 1995. We went 4-14, but no, we would not have lost 10 in a row at any point. We were 2-7 in each half of the season. We were consistent, Gord.
Ottawa's last win on August the 2nd in overtime against Montreal.
Thank goodness for overtime.
Coming up on 3 months. Should be the final play of the game. And Toronto will sweep the season series from Ottawa with a 39-9 victory. And time now for the Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by the Nissan Titan, ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power.
The Nissan Titan Players of the Game goes to a trio of gentlemen who combined to complete 2/3 of their passes, 26 of 39, for 357 yards and 5 touchdowns. McLeod Bethel Thompson handled duties in the first half. Dakota Prukop with a tremendous third quarter. Michael O'Connor, the young Canadian, came on in the fourth quarter, all acquitting themselves very well in Toronto victory. And for that, the 3 Argonaut quarterbacks are today's Nissan Titan players of the game.
We got our first look at Michael O'Connor as well in live CFL action, throwing his first touchdown pass to Dakota Prukop. And coming up next, the third game of our triple header. It's an important one. It's Saskatchewan, gunning for first place in the West Division, takes on the Edmonton Eskimos. For Dwayne Ford, Matthew Giannetti, all of us here in Toronto, thanks for tuning in. Now, back to Rod Smith.
Thank you, Gord. And in a game where McLeod Bethel Thompson over 4,000 yards, Cody Fajardo's trying to do the same, 127 yards shy of the 4,000-yard mark. And more importantly, as Gord